Okay, so thank you, first of all, for attending this session. And let me introduce myself first. So my name is Michael Bessolov. I am also known as Misha in Magento and in eBay. And I work for Magento for almost 5 years. I've been leading the Magento development team since the first releases of Magento, starting from the first public beta release of its open source community edition back in 2007. And up until the time Magento transformed into a much wider variety of e-commerce products. These days, I'm a director of technology in Magento, and I'm leading the creation and development of the Magento platform that we'll be talking about today. Also, let me introduce Maxim Ekaterinenko, who is the technical project manager of the Magento platform team. And he will walk you through some parts of today's presentation. Okay, so let's quickly go through the today's agenda. First of all, we will start with a short overview of the Magento Go to make sure all of us are aligned on what kind of product is that and what are the key differences between Magento Go and other Magento products. After that, Max will explain the process of and capabilities of customizing Magento Go stores, utilizing Magento native, and by saying native, I mean something that is already there in Magento in all of the Magento products. So he will explain how to use Magento native layout configuration instructions to quickly change the entire look and feel of your store, or you can do that just for some selected pages if needed. After that, Max will also give an overview of the Magento Web Services APIs that allow developers to easily integrate with Magento from other third-party applications. And we will also talk what's the current state of Magento APIs now and what updates might be expected soon. After that, we will explain what is the next phase in the Magento Go evolution that we are actually already seeing now. And we will talk about the new features of updated Magenta Connect. And we will talk about what kind of opportunities it brings both to merchants and application developers. And we will also talk shortly how you can join and become a member of this huge and growing ecosystem today. So let's start. I believe many of you already know what is Magento, right? Magento Commerce is one of the most, or maybe simply the most successful open source e-commerce product in the world. The history of Magento started back in 2007 with the first public release of its open source e-commerce, open source community edition. And it quickly gained its recognition and adoption all over the world. Up until recently, Magento product family included a line of mostly deployed or so-called on-premise products. That includes Magento Community Edition, Magento Enterprise Edition, and Magento Professional Edition, which are based mostly off the same version of the code, of the core code. And also it included the Magento mobile offerings for iPhone, iPad, and Android-based mobile devices. At the beginning of this year, 2011, we also announced the launch of Magento Go, which our hosted on-demand product, which is optimized for small and emerging merchants who just want to start selling online. Magento Go is a fully managed software as a service solution that runs on top of highly available clustered infrastructure. And software as a service model actually eliminates the necessity and complexity of day-to-day software and hardware management from the store owners. Also, it brings PCI compliancy for secure and reliable payment processing in our environment. Besides that, it includes regular Magento software updates, which are fully automated and does not require any participation from the store owner. It also includes powerful store configurator, which allows you to create and set up new online store and start selling with just a few clicks. And each Magento Go store already includes a number of pre-installed add-ons and themes for merchant selection. And now we are going to look a bit more deeper on how to do that. Welcome, Max.
Thank you, Mish. Okay. Let's start. As Misha said, right now I will walk you through simple ways how you can customize Magenta theme using standard built-in features and tools. When Magento Go owner, store owner, first time go in admin, he has drop-down menu with proposal to make initial inputs of configuration. And after language preferences, contact information, there is design menu, which link you to this page, which you can see on screen. And it proposes you to choose one of the pre-installed themes and also propose you to click and customize it. After you click on it, you will go to theme customization menu, which has built-in features which will help you to make initial settings of Magento store view. First of them is design setting editor, which will allow you to set up body, header, footer settings, image, background, very basic settings, but which will help you make your store looks nice. CSS editor, which will allow you to upload your custom CSS fonts, image assets, preview existing one, and help you perfectly fit design which you want and you want to show to your customers. JavaScript editor allows to upload new JavaScript libraries and maybe your custom libraries if you're familiar with JavaScript, and manage the order on page generation and extend ability customers to work with your maybe pop-ups and menu shopping carts. And last one is catalog images. It allows to change and make some basic settings for products view images on each page which has product information. It can be catalog, category, product review page, etc. Also, Magento Go has two front-end visual settings features. First, one of them is layout editor, which allows you easily to move blocks on page and move in the position you want. For example, on this slide, you see compare products and community poll in red dots. So it means you can take it and move just by mouse and put whenever you want. So that's how you can easily change it. And also, there is theme text editor, which in front end will allow you to change content and text directly on this page, and you can see how it will be produced and how it will look directly on, for customers. So all these tools, which listed below, will allow you to make initial settings of store view and customize theme. You can go and start launch your Magento Go store. But from my experience as developer, most people, most owner of stores want some more customized themes, maybe remove something, add something new. There come custom layouts. Layouts is hierarchy tree of visual blocks in Magento, which consists of set of blocks concatenated in one set. Inside you can see default block assets for default Magento page. As you see, it's a lot of blocks which have a hierarchical tree and includes in each other. And in Magento, it's stored in XML format. So basically, you need some basic knowledge of XML. Magento Go store has three special cases, 3 places where you can use custom layouts updates in order to change view of such page. It is category page, product details page, and CMS page. On all these pages, when you edit them, you can find this in design section, custom layout update text block, and you can put there some instruction which Magento will understand and produce exactly view what you want. So for this, you need to know what kind of extraction Magenta has. I will walk you through 4 of them. It's very basic, but very helpful for first steps. Block extraction. Block extraction allows you to create new block in current context with parameters and settings which you want. In this example, block will be created block with name tested block. Remember I said it's XML structure and all blocks are named. So you need specified name on it in order to later to call it or make some changes. And also type. Type is Magenta block type name. Basically, developers are familiar with this name, and they know what kind of block Magenta has. If not, you can go to magentacommerce.com and find out in Wiki. Next extraction is reference. Mostly you want to replace some existing block, right? If you want to have some information in existing page, you don't want to have it, you can call reference and replace information on it with some custom instruction which you have. In this case, reference name content, its main content area, will be completely replaced with new block which will be created and assign it as name additional info. Action. Blocks, action actually it's API how you can access to block methods and functions. Blocks it's just class in Magenta which has public private methods. So it's some kind of actions which it can produce. And with this instruction, you can call this action. So it will do something, for example, calculate price of products or find out category path, etc. So by action in current context in block or maybe in reference, you can call whenever you want it. In child arguments, it's values which you pass in function. And last one, which useful instruction is remove extraction. For example, you have product details page and you want to make it like printable page. It means you don't need menu, you don't need footer or some kind of my account links. You can easily add this instruction in name, define block name which you want to remove from current layout, and it will remove. So in this case, you will not have anything else but just what you need on the page. Okay, so what I explained, it's like you can initially and advanced change and customize Magenta themes. But much more powerful Magenta comes with Magenta Core API. It means your Magento Go store and even just store, which enterprise and public, can connect to third-party applications, for example, mail management system, order management system, etc., any ERP system, by API. Magenta has full set of APIs which allow you manage catalog, manipulate with categories, products, links, tags, attributes, price, inventory, etc. Everything what related to category catalog management you can do using Magento API. Customer accounts API. It's allow you to create, update, again, manage customer addresses and groups of customer in your store remotely. Checkout. Checkout API, it's one of useful APIs when you can remotely create order, assign some customer, add to shopping cart products, choose payment, shipping method, etc. There is order management APIs, which allow you to manipulate with order, invoice, all what related to sales in Magenta. In customer balance, it's store credit. It's available on, I think, Enterprise Edition and also in Magento Go store. You can manage store credits and gift cards. And also there is site management API, which have supplied function for your store, which you can change store view, manage some configuration setting, etc. All this API will allow you completely customize and extend possibility of your Magento Go store. Let's walk through what kind of web services Magenta supports. First of them is SOAP web service. By this link, by this URL, you can find web service description language, which will describe you what kind of functions and calls and messages Magenta has. Main feature of this version is you call always only one message, named call. You can see in XML scheme. It receives session ID, which you receive when you log in by IP. Also, resource path, which identify which API you want to call. For example, category.product or orders, etc. And one specific point of this, it's any type scheme. As you know, Magenta is not strictly typed language, and it easily can combine different data information as associated massive arrays and pass it through and back. So it's very helpful because the WSDL file in this case is very small and it can be fast transmitted. But there are strongly typed language. For example, I know Java and C# is not allowed to use in web services any type in most cases. That's why we come with Magenta SOAP version 2. In this WSDL file, you can find all messages and all instructions are strictly named and typed. So you will not find any type. It will be a complex type and strictly named, which you need to contact when you connect with this service to Magenta. Also, we have XML RPC. It's simple protocol which used very often, and it's don't have any strictly documentation, but one of them is method name, which you can call, which you can use for call. So it's based on Magenta SOAP version 1. So you need to pass method name call all time, and in parameters you need to pass session ID and resource path name. It means customer list. It defines which API you want to connect directly. Now I want to show you two simple examples of Magenta API which you can use to connect and update inventory and products, for example, in your Magento store. In this example, I displayed how you can call inventory update using Magenta SOAP version 2. As you see, after connection, we take session ID, passing login API key for user in Magento store, and we call strictly named function named catalog inventory stock item and pass the data. So after this, information about these products with this SKU will be updated. Inventory will be set in 50 and it will be marked in stock. And this example is a little bit complex, but it's how you can create Magenta products in Magento Go store using SOAP version 1 API. You need to build associative array with attribute and value data for these products. Connect to Magenta using this URL. It's version 1 SOAP. And then call and send message with method call with pass URL product.create. So it means after this, Magenta will receive instruction to create products using Magenta API and with parameters which are passed in array. Actually, that's it's simple, and I hope it will help you to work with Magenta, and you can have information about the API on magentacommerce.com site. And I think Misha will proceed about our topic. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Max. And I just want to add a few more words before we'll jump into the Magento platform and Magenta Connect discussion about what's going on now with the Magenta Services API and what can be expected soon. So for sure, our development team continues developing the Magenta APIs. And even though you saw before that existing Magenta Web Services API cover a lot, and I would say most of the essential functionality that might be required to integrate any third-party application with your Magento store is already there and is exposed into a number of various web services formats, such as XML RPC and multiple flavors of SOAP formats. And for sure, we'll continue to increase this coverage in order to align the functionality that is expressed through the Web Services API with the functionality that is provided by all the Magento modules. And currently, there are, I believe, more than 80 or maybe even 90 modules that are basically core of the Magento itself. Besides that, we are also considering to add what will be the value and what kind of value it could be added by adding more support of more formats for Magento Web Services APIs. We also continue to work on the documentation in order to provide more code samples in various languages, in order to create more tutorials, which will give you good understanding of how to start working and how to integrate with Magento through its entire set of Web Services API. Okay, so actually, before this point, we talked about what Magento was, and now let's talk what Magento is today. So since its launch in 2008, the launch of the first public stable release, Magento transformed into something that is much more than just an e-commerce platform. I would rather call it an e-commerce phenomenon. So Magento ecosystem now includes more than 100 merchants who operate their stores on Magento. 100,000 merchants who run their stores on Magento. And more than 500,000 developers and community members who use Magento. And currently there are more than 5,000 Magento extensions created by Magento developers and available for Magento merchants on Magento Connect. And those extensions have been downloaded and installed more than 4 million times at this point, which could be easily accounted for more than $100 million in annual developer revenue, and that number is actually growing. And all that happens, and you can see it now on the world's largest e-commerce application marketplace, that is Magento Connect. And Magento Connect is actually the place where developers can connect with the growing universe of Magento merchants to be able to find what do merchants need today and to be able to satisfy those needs. And starting yesterday, this extension marketplace became also available for the more than 5,000 merchants who run their e-commerce stores on the Magento Go hosted solution. The updated Magento Connect includes enhanced search and navigation capabilities. It allows merchants to find the extensions that best match the needs of their stores. Besides that, it includes better extension management and promotional tools for Magento Connect extension developers. And all that you can already see now and find a lot more information both for Magento merchants and Magento extension developers right now on the Magenta Connect website. That is www.magento.com/magento-connect. And besides all those improvements and changes that were introduced with the new updated version of Magento Connect, we are also introducing a new process of creating Magento extensions for Magento Go, Magento Enterprise, Professional, and Community editions. And that is called the Magento Trusted Extensions program. So at the first phase, we are introducing this process only for Magento Go, and the introduction of trusted certification for other Magento products will be announced separately. But developers who are interested in having their extensions designated as Magento Go trusted extensions on Magento Connect can apply into this program right now. So to ensure successful deployment and support of trusted extensions into Magento stores, Magento introduces a process of the code review in order to make sure that the extension complies with a variety of rules and expected coding practices. So how does that process look like? So the process of making your extension trusted, or actually giving you an option to flag it as a trusted extension on the Magento Connect and make it available for the Magento Go merchants, it includes a variety of tests and a thorough code review. Also, we will need both legal and technical resource commitment from you, the extension developer, in order to make sure that Magento Go merchants will get the best level of customer support. As Magento itself does not guarantee the functional accuracy of specific extension behavior, as that is your responsibility as the extension developer. Let's see what is actually being reviewed by the Magento team when you apply to have your extension designated as a Magento trusted extension for Magento Go. So we do check that your extensions comply with the standards for Magento extensions reliability, stability, and support. We do thorough code review and inspection to verify that your extension complies with the best coding practices for Magento development and that it follows secure extension development guidelines. We do check what could be the possible performance impact of having your extension installed in a store of Magento Go merchant, both from the CPU and memory consumption points. We do check how your extension works with a Magento store database. We check if there are any remote calls to some third-party services, and we check the overall behavior of your extension. Besides that, we also check that your extension can be installed and run in a multi-tenant software as a service environment, and that it won't make any unwanted implications on Magento Go stores once the code is being deployed into our Magento Go infrastructure. For sure, this list is partial, and it highlights just some specific areas that should be verified by extension developer even maybe before submitting their extension into this program. But selected developers who are accepted to this process and who sign on the business and development agreement with Magento will be able to work closely with the Magento team to ensure that the extension passes the trusted extension program and will be successfully deployed to our Magento Go and will become available for our Magento Go merchants. So actually that's it for today, and thank you all for attending these sessions, and now we will have some time for your questions. And as long as the mics are not available in there, just please speak louder, and I will also try to repeat your questions. So, thank you.
I have a question. You change the Magento Connect page now, and you can go specifically to topics. What I used to do is I always sort them by the newest extension, so I always got an overview what is new. How would I do that now?
Okay, so let me repeat the question first. So after the design of the extensions, we introduced the new categorization, and before it was possible to actually sort extensions by the date of when they were added to the Magento Connect. And answering the question, I can say that there is a link that allows you to see basically the feed of all the new extensions published in the Magento Connect marketplace. I'm not sure if it's visible from the first page, but we will work on improving the design to make sure it's the same easy way to find it there.
I think it's in every category, but it's not as a total.
Okay, we will check and make sure that it's there, it's available in any category, and also it allows you to see the entire list of the extensions just added to the Magento Connect. Yeah, please.
Does Magento Go support multi-site, multi-store?
Yes, sure. Magento itself, as a product, it supports multiple. Yeah, I understand. So the question was if Magento Go supports multiple websites and multiple stores and store views. And the answer is yes. Magento itself Magento platform, regardless of it's hosted or if it's on-demand product, on-premise product. It supports ability to have and to manage multiple websites, multiple stores, and store views right out of the box. And on Magento Go, that is also available for our Magento Go merchants, and it depends basically on the plan that you purchased to run your Magento Go store. So different plans, they have different limitations in number of stores that you're allowed to create, but the answer is definitely yes. It is supported. Yes, so Yoav, who is the CTO of Magento, is adding that we already have in our plans support of multiple store views, and support of stores and multiple websites is coming soon. And welcome.
I have two questions. Can you please explain how we as developers can develop Magento Go extensions? How does it work? How can we test it? And what is possible? What is the level of customization possible with the extension? And the second question.
Can we start with first? So let me repeat it first. So the question was how the extension developers can develop their extensions for Magento Go, how can they test it, and what is the level of customization or flexibility that is allowed when developing those extensions. So starting from the first point, so an extension for Magento Go, it could be actually any extension that you developed already or you're developing for Magento Enterprise or Community or Professional Edition. For sure, it has to follow some guidelines and to meet some specific requirements. I believe that most of those recommendations are actually available on the Magento Connect for our developers, and for sure they will be available once you apply for this Magento Go Trusted Extensions program. Once you apply and sign the development and business agreements, you will also be, as a developer, you will be provided with the copy of the Magento, kind of copy of the Magento Go core code that you will be able to run into your local installation to make sure that the code and the extension is compatible with the core code of the Magento Go. And also after your extension goes through the process of code review and all the other tests and the inspections, we are deploying it into some test environment, and you as a developer will get access to be able to test it and to make sure that it actually satisfies your functional requirements as well. And what is this next question? So, yeah, the question is when trusted certification will be available and what is the cost. So, first of all, I would like to say that it's already there, and starting off yesterday, we already have, if I'm not mistaken, more than a dozen extensions that already passed that certification and are flagged as Magento Trusted Extensions on the Magento Connect, and they're available for the Magento Go merchants. And that number includes both free and paid extensions. So, and I believe like in the first half an hour after we launched an updated version of Magenta Connect yesterday, there were already about 20 purchases of these trusted extensions, though I might be wrong. And the cost, if you are interested into that, you will basically apply and talk with our biz dev people, and they will provide you all the necessary information.
Baruch.
We
Okay, so let's summarize what Baruch just said. There is no cost to apply to trusted extension, and we want you to submit and support your extension in Magento Go, and in terms of cost of extension in 2080, right? So it's summarizing. And there is one more question in Twitter. Will we have access to a local .xml file? Misha?
I think the explanation of the architecture of the Magento Go solution is not the topic of today's presentation, and I can just say that there is no such entity as local.xml file in the Magento Go environment, but there is definitely an equivalent replacement. And for sure, an extension developer, when he creates a module for Magento, the module itself, it contains the config.xml file. And config.xml file can contain and override configuration values as any other Magento module or extension. Yeah?
That's more around theming as opposed to extensions.
Yes. So currently, if we are talking about theming, I believe there will be a later announcement, but in order to make your theme available only for selected Magento merchants on the Magento Go infrastructure, you have to develop your theme as a Magento module that can be enabled or disabled for a specific merchant in our infrastructure. Yep.
Yesterday we were talking about the eBay extension that comes to the Enterprise Edition. When is it going to come to the Go Edition?
I'm not sure which of the extensions you are asking, but there is no reason to not have any extension that is available for Magento Enterprise to not have it available for Magento Go. Once it will be there and accessible for all the Magento Go merchants.
And this is actually my next question. Is there going to be an even synchronization of all extensions at all time, or is there like a priority level, like community, the Enterprise Edition first, then the Go Edition, then everybody else?
So answering the question about if there is a goal of if there will be any kind of synchronization between availability of extensions across all the Magento editions. So in this phase, which is actually the first phase of the Magento Go platform development, the only way to have your extension available for Magento Go merchants is to apply for the Trusted Extension Certification Program, to allow us to go through this process of reviewing, inspecting and testing your extension, and also signing an agreement with you that you will be able to provide the necessary level of support for Magento Go merchants who purchase your extension. The goal of the Magento Go platform in general, and that might be the goal of one of the next phases, is to allow any merchant to install any extension created by any Magento developer. That means basically create once, deploy everywhere. But now we are on phase one.
I think we're running out of time, and if you have more questions, and Misha and me are available here after the session, and we need to let people prepare to the next one.
Okay, thank you.